fully start.
Wow.
When Sean was inside that abandoned building, he found a sigil of Baphomet.
Wow! I rebuke you in the name! I rebuke you in the name of Jesus!
I want to say.
What?
Long, gray-looking hair.
Run! Run! What's good, you? My name is ReboundLeader. Welcome back with another video. 5 creepy, true cemetery horror stories. I am pretty tired, guys, so if I'm low energy in this video, then I just went to the gym. I have a test or midterm tomorrow at like evening, so I've been pretty busy for this whole week. That's why I've not been posting any videos. It's gonna be a pretty busy like 3-4 weeks until exams and all that stuff, so if you don't see me be posting videos that much, then you know why. Alright, let's get right to this video. Hit that like button. Let's go.
I'm a cemetery operations coordinator, or you can just call me a cemetery manager.
Bruh.
Part of my job is sitting down with guests and family members of the deceased to set up funerals, facilitate the sales of plots, etc.
Okay.
A 30-something-year-old man named Antonio, very spiritual man, once sat down with me to purchase a plot
Spiritual
for his sick
how?
father who
Spiritual how? Spiritual and demon possession? Spiritual and Christian faith? What are we talking about here?
was in hospice care. Antonio was a Hispanic man with a very thick accent, and I saw in his eyes he was a very caring man.
Oh, of course.
He showed me pictures of his father, who also looked like a very sweet man, much too young to be taken away from his family. But unfortunately, the man's time came that same week, and Antonio arranged for his father's funeral service at the cemetery.
Wow.
It was a very stormy day, the day of the funeral, which is thought to be a sign of good luck. The funeral procession stopped in front of the front office.
Who's making this up, bro? Who said that rainy days on cemetery days is good luck? What type of foolishness?
This building briefly. I stepped outside under the front awning of the building and saw Antonio in the car behind the hearse. We waved at each other. Due to the weather, I went back inside until the procession was ready to proceed to the burial site.
Alright.
I got in one of the cemetery pickup trucks and followed the procession to the final stop, where I would stand with my umbrella supervising, as part of my job is making sure funeral services go smoothly.
Cool.
After the funeral, I did some laps around the place in the truck just to survey the area, as I did at least a couple times a day. I had a lot of paperwork to take care of, and on top of this, I had to close the cemetery that night.
Okay.
So a little later, I went back to my desk and took care of this. The cemetery closes at 5:30, so as soon as it started to get dark, I drove around the place one more time to ensure all visitors had left, then drove over to the front gate to shut it. It was a relatively warm early March. The days were still on the shorter side, so by closing time on a normal day, it would already be getting darker. But on this stormy-ass day, it already felt like it was nighttime.
Wow.
I was driving back to my office when I thought I saw someone hurriedly walking down one of the lanes of tombstones.
Whoa.
Before turning behind a hedge.
Whoa, bro. These people are weird, bro. People that go to tombstones and just hide and do all these weirdness, bro, they're just asking to get clucked, bro.
And disappearing out of
Idiots.
sight. I beeped my horn so as to let them know the place was closed.
Yep.
But strangely enough, I didn't see them again. I grabbed my umbrella and ran out into the rain in that direction.
Yep.
I turned beyond the hedge he turned at and looked down this long row of tombstones on one side and hedges on the other. I didn't see anyone. I looked around in the rain for a solid 20 minutes, but eventually I had to give up.
Okay.
I drove back up to the office and browsed through the CCTV footage.
Wow.
None of it picked up on any unusual movement, even though it was a bit harder to see much because of the storm, and it was also pitch black outside now.
This is crazy.
I tried to multitask, keeping an eye on the camera while finishing up some of my paperwork, when I heard the front door to the visitation room slam shut.
What the
I
heck?
sprang up from my chair and yelled, "Hello?" My first thought was that it was the same person I saw before.
Bro, the ghost,
Maybe they got
man.
locked in the cemetery and were looking for assistance in leaving. I stepped out into the lobby, but no one was there. I looked around and again said, "Hello?" Maybe the door slamming shut.
They ain't
was them
answering?
leaving. I
Haul
started
ass.
looking out all the windows.
Bro, do the paperwork tomorrow. Just do it tomorrow, bro. Leave. You have a family, bro, that needs you. Leave. Close up and just haul ass.
And I stopped when at one of them, I saw someone on the other side, looking back at me.
What?
With a blank expression. I jumped back and screamed.
That's
They didn't
crazy.
Flinch. I I stepped closer and made a squinty-eyed, confused look when I realized I recognized this Hispanic, older-looking man.
Who is he?
In my head, it reminded me exactly of the pictures of Antonio's father he showed me. With my heart in my throat, I ran out the front door of the building and to the side where I saw the man, but he was gone. He wasn't booking it into the fields, he wasn't hiding in a bush nearby, he was gone. I looked around me as I stood in the rain getting soaked, and ran back inside, packed up my things, locked up, and got in my car.
Yep.
I opened and closed the gate, once more locking it behind me. When my wife asked me at home why I was being so quiet, I just told her long day at work.
To
this day, I think I was just overworking myself, and my mind was playing tricks on me.
Nah, bro.
It still is genuinely disturbing to think about.
That's crazy. Minds don't play tricks on you like that, bro.
My name is Jeremy. This was in the dead of October, chilly and windy. I live in a somewhat big town. It's very poor and old, early 18th century type buildings. A friend and I were bored one night and decided to go fuck around at 3 a.m.
Come on! Come on, bro! Really? That's what you decided to do? Your friends got bored, so you decided to what? Mess around at 3 a.m. and then you go to a cemetery. What is wrong with you? Those are clocked hours. You don't go to cemeteries at 3 a.m. You stay in your home at 3 a.m. Bro, you could have been reading the Bible, but instead you wanted to get possessed by a demon. You wanted to get clucked by a demon. Bro, what are we saying here? Get these kids out of here, bro. Oh my gosh.
3 a.m. in a poor town isn't exactly smart, but we like to have our fun. We got bored of driving around blasting our music. We're both very big metalheads, and at that point we had our own band. So we decided it would be interesting and cool to walk around a cemetery in the town.
Bruh.
Behind the old town square, there's a massive cemetery. It's divided by two sides of a highway, both sides taking up about 20 acres of land.
Damn.
As I said, it's massive.
Huge.
We decided to check out the older part of the cemetery. This part is completely separated from the rest of the newer cemetery with an old iron fence and gate.
Is this real footage?
Walking around and checking out the cemetery.
Is this real footage right now?
The old moss-covered graves, taking pictures, being a little bit disrespectful.
Bro.
But these were groups set by it, and I'm sure the people in the graves didn't mind too much. After about an hour of checking it out, we sit down next to a giant pecan tree in the middle of the old cemetery. That's when we hear this little girl laughing. It was very close to us.
What?
At first I assumed maybe it was a toy left on a child's grave or something like that. I'm not one to scare easily, so I just figured it's motion activated or something like that. We are not at all easy to scare, so we both sort of laugh, pointing out that it's creepy and just keep talking and enjoying the ambiance. Then, as in all stories like this, I get the feeling of something or someone watching me.
Of course.
Once again, I just figured that I was letting the entire thing get into my head.
Of course.
And my friend says he thinks he sees someone in the shadows of a small wooded area right next to the cemetery, of which we were really close.
Run!
At this point, we're both a little creeped out and
decide
to get up and leave. And that noise, the exact same noise, played again, and we hear leaves crunching underneath the feet of someone.
Oh my gosh.
That's when we booked it. We ran down the hill leading to the old part of the cemetery, down where my car was parked. I've never ran that fast in my life.
I hate those
laughing noises.
I hate those freaking giggles in my ear.
We both sort of just went into full fight or flight mode at that point, going as fast as we could without thinking. The noises behind us stopped as we got to my car. I started my car and put it in drive, pulling out into the highway without looking.
Good.
Luckily, no one hit us. We get down the road to the only gas station.
Excuse me, sir. What side of the road are you on? You're literally driving in the middle of the road. Bro, pick a lane.
That's open at this time of night to check
what are you
the back of
doing?
my car. We had both been discussing how we were scared some shit had been done to it. We get around to check and immediately find the back door is open. I know for a fact neither of us ever opened it.
Oh,
There's
heck
no
no.
reason for us to open it.
Oh, heck no.
I look in the back seats, make sure nothing's there, get right back in the car and peel out. I'm still confused about what happened that night. I'm not sure if we both overreacted or what. All I know is that I still feel that weird feeling that something is behind you whenever I tell this story.
Yep, because something is, bro. You know you clocked up. You know you clocked up!
When I was 19, my friend Sean, who was a big goofball, came over to chill in our basement as he often would during the summer. I remember he had a Coke bottle in his hand and I was eating Wendy's when he said we should check out that creepy little cemetery across town. It was the most random idea ever, and I even told him that. Still, we had no school the next day, and I knew exactly which...
Now, these ones I think are going to be the ones that we've already reacted to maybe like a while ago, but it's good to listen to them again, you know what I'm saying, just to see how clucked up these idiots are.
I don't know if one should even call it a regular cemetery.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just a small plot of land with maybe 100 tombstones at most. The tombstone's very archaic looking, and any time we'd pass, there would be no signs of anyone having come to visit within the last decade.
Good.
The site probably dated back centuries.
They know their role. Stay in the house.
Because it was closed off by a gothic metal fence. And it was surrounded by woods on two sides, the road on one, and some old abandoned building on the other. Everything about it just gave scary vibes. It took a little persuading, but Sean managed to get me to want to check it out too. Ironically, it was a very cloudy, wettish kind of day. I guess conveniently adding to the mood.
Okay.
Sean pulled up his Honda to the side of the road. I told him to pull up more so it wasn't obvious. This was a low traffic road, so it would look kind of suspicious. He pulled up a few hundred feet down the road, and we got out and cut through the woods so that any potential passing traffic wouldn't see us entering the little cemetery. Hopping the fence in the woods was easy. It was maybe a 3 or 4 foot fence.
Of course it's supposed to be easy.
Sean kind of took the lead on this since it was mainly his venture. He led us through the eerie little plot of land, and we looked at the archaic tombstones. They all seemed to be from the 19th century. The writing on some of them was illegible at that point.
Wow.
I know it sounds super dumb and cliche, but I couldn't help but feel like I was being watched.
No, really! I don't want to be cliche, but I feel like someone's watching me right now. I'm in the cemetery alone. Like, bro, stop with the freaking nonsense, bro. Leave the cemetery. Go back home to your family before it's too late. Where's your Bible? You didn't even bring that with you.
I started looking around the surrounding woods. I told Sean how creepy this was. I know, he replied. Still, with the feeling of being watched, I looked at the abandoned building next to the cemetery, at one of the windows. For a brief moment, I knew I saw someone standing at the window.
What?
Even through the fog, smudge, and dirt on the glass.
Heck no!
They casually either ducked or walked away from the window. I told Sean we were being watched by someone in that building.
Yep.
And he turned to look at it as well. Then he went to look for the entrance to it.
Why?
I told him don't.
Why?
We should just leave before we get in trouble.
Why would you look for the entrance to the place where someone's stalking you? Bro, this is white behavior. I'm telling you, this is Caucasian behavior. No black man is doing it. No black man is doing this, bro. Especially in groups. We're not doing this. What we're doing is that we're hauling ass. We're going back home.
I stayed still by the tombstone he was looking at while
Come
he
on,
walked around
man.
the building. And then he found a way in. He called me over, but I stayed put. Then I heard some loud kind of crack.
Oh!
I looked in that direction, and there was this older man, probably around 55. Gray hair, had on a black raincoat. I believe he was wearing jeans.
Who are you, Grandpa?
But that's all I really got of him.
Who are you?
Then he opened his mouth and screamed. Not just yelled, he screamed, "Get out." He screamed it so loud, I thought I saw birds fly away from being startled.
Wow.
And just like that, I started to feel lightheaded, and suddenly everything went dark.
What?
The next thing I remember was waking up to being dragged in the woods. I freaked out, thinking I was being kidnapped.
What?
But when I turned and got up, I saw it was just Sean. Sean was freaking out about something. He told me to follow him and run back to the car, so I didn't ask questions.
What the heck going on?
As we ran through the woods, I heard something close behind me, and when I turned, I realized we were being followed by someone, so I ran even faster.
Yeah, run!
We got to his Honda, and he basically put it in drive before the car even had a chance to fully start.
Wow.
When Sean was inside that abandoned building, he found a sigil of Baphomet.
Wow! Ah! I rebuke you in the name! I rebuke you in the name of Jesus! What are we doing here? What? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is demon. This is a sickness. This is deviant. And we do not want it. We do not want it. This is a sickness. Yay. 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 Mogo. Yay. Oh my goodness. You see what you did? You should have left when you had the chance. Look at you. Your friend really wanted to investigate, and guess what happened? He saw cluckness. He saw demonic rituals.
Basically the sign of Satan. Around it were a bunch of freaky dolls with buttons for eyes.
Oh, heck no.
He didn't get to see anything else.
Voodoo!
Because he heard the old man scream at me outside.
Voodoo!
He came running to find me passed out on the floor, and he saw the old man slowly walking over to me. He started to drag me away from the old man and into the woods.
Wow.
He actually literally picked me up and threw me over the fence to get me out.
Wow.
I quickly came back to consciousness, and that's when we ran. I had only fainted.
Who was
one
that
time
old
in my life,
man?
and it was at that moment. I don't know why I fainted, but it happening at a graveyard with some kind of satanic ritual building right next to it.
That's crazy.
Makes it that much stranger.
He's trying to bring someone back to life, bro. Man lost his wife. Like, what the heck? Heck no.
My grandpa passed away a few years ago. I was always very close with him. This past July, on his birthday, I paid him a visit at the cemetery. The cemetery he and my grandma chose to be buried at was about an hour drive from my apartment. My family lived closer, so they all went to his grave together. I had to go separately. It was a rainy, depressing day, and there's nothing worse than visiting a
You should have went with your family, bro. You should not have gone by yourself.
cemetery
I don't know.
on a gloomy day.
But hey,
The gatekeeper of the
It's
gate
not bad.
asked for the plot number. I gave it to him, and he let me in. It's a pretty big cemetery, and I'd only been there a couple other times.
okay.
Not as the driver, though, so I had a hard time finding it. I didn't see many other people, if any, at the cemetery that day. I'm sure the weather had something to do with it. Eventually, I found his stone and parked my car in the grass to the side. I put some flowers down under his stone, stood there for a while with my eyes closed, and prayed. When I finished my prayer, I opened my eyes and looked up.
What the heck?
There was an old
Whoa!
man standing about 5.
What the heck? Who are you? Whoa! Who is this old man? Yo, what the heck is going on here? Bro, in that instance, bro, I can imagine if I just did this, prayed, and then opened my eyes again, and I see an old man I am turning the other direction, and I'm hauling ass back to the car, and vroom, I'm leaving.
5 rows of graves down, but directly across from me, and he was looking right at me.
That's crazy.
I knew this man, though. It was my grandfather.
That's nuts. That's
No,
nuts.
it couldn't be. I rubbed my eyes, and he was gone. Did I just have a spiritual moment?
Nah,
Or were my eyes and mind?
that's demonic.
Either way, I got
Grab the
chills,
Bible.
and I had goosebumps. I was quite honestly freaked out. I got back in my car, said, "Love you, Grandpa," and drove off. I felt like I had a headache on my way home. Not sure why. I was the only car on Prospect Road, a quiet road with dense forest on either side.
What's going on with
There
the?
would be deer crossing here.
What's going on here?
As my car zipped down the road, I spotted someone on the side of the road coming up.
What the heck?
Odd. There were no sidewalks or a walking path on this road. I slowed down.
No,
Couldn't be.
keep,
It's like my grandpa again.
bro, keep driving. What are you slowing down for?
When I realized this, my heart dropped 1,000 feet, and I swerved the car accidentally. I desperately tried to regain control and come to a stop. Luckily, my car didn't end up in a tree.
Thank
I
God.
just skidded out in the middle of the road until coming to a halt. I immediately looked back to where I saw him, and I saw a deer on the side of the road, looking at my car. My heart was literally racing.
Bro, it was a deer.
terrified.
Man's seen
He's not
things,
well,
bro.
and I needed to get home.
Or is he?
I made sure no cars were coming and got back in my lane. I focused on the road as best I could given what I had just seen twice. I felt weird the rest of the day. Not sick, but something wasn't right with my head.
Oh my gosh! Don't tell me you get to see him in the. Bro, you saw him like 3-4 times. You need to go to church.
I went to bed early after watching an episode of my show.
This is not right. This is not
I woke up
right.
at like 2 in the morning to my phone ringing. It was an unknown number. My heart started racing again. Any call at this hour couldn't be good news.
Spirits can go through.
Except
Bro,
for the
spirits
call
can go through
phone
phones?
up to my ear.
What the frick?
There was static on the other end. Finally, I said, "Hello?" More static. But what I thought I heard next, I couldn't believe.
Bruh.
Just briefly, for maybe half a second, I thought I heard my grandpa's voice over the static.
Bruh. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I tried to say hello again, but I was too shook.
Yeah.
Every part of my body was actually shaking.
Bro.
Then the call cut to silence and ended. I called my phone provider the next day to trace the number. They couldn't. They didn't have enough data to trace it, apparently.
That's
I
crazy.
don't know if that was just bullshit or not. The events that took place that day and night were the scariest I've ever experienced. Do I think my dead grandpa was trying to contact me? I don't know, because that sounds ridiculous. You'd think if you experienced something like this, you'd be so full of emotion and joy.
No.
But no, it still terrifies me.
Yeah.
And I really still don't know what to think or how to feel about it.
Demons.
Whether it sounds ridiculous or not, this happened. And I wonder almost every other night, was that really my grandpa on the phone?
That what? That, bro, that was a demon. That was a demon. Like, come on. Stop playing games.
My friends and I were very stupid when we were teenagers. I was like 17 or 18 when this happened.
Oh boy, here we
It was
go.
the month of October, and I wanted to do something scary.
Oh my gosh, not on the devil's month. So you not only are you doing this on the devil's month, then the devil's birthday on Halloween, you decide to go somewhere clucked as well, instead of staying your ass indoors.
There's a small cemetery about 10 minutes from where I live.
Bro, where's your
When I was
Bible?
drunk with a couple friends. I said we should sneak into it. I'll make up some names for my friends, Ryan and Mike. We were at Ryan's house. He didn't drink ever. So when I came up with the idea,
Smart.
he was the one to drive us to the cemetery. Mike and I were really the ones leading this.
Okay.
Ryan was just along for the ride.
Alright.
But then again, he hadn't been drinking. Ryan parked in some parking lot across the street. It was a ghost town because it was past midnight at that point.
Past midnight.
We made sure no one was around to see
Oh,
us as we hopped the
man.
fence into the cemetery. It wasn't exactly pitch black out, but it was slightly hard to see more than 10 feet in front of us. So we were all using our iPhone flashlights. There didn't appear to be any night security in the cemetery, so we kind of dispersed from each other.
Yep.
Ryan seemed to be following Mike more closely. I could still see where they were because of their flashlights. I went off a little further on my own, and I decided I'd start taking a creepy video.
Wait. Did you just say that you're going off on your own in the cemetery at midnight by yourself? Did I just hear that correctly? Did I hear that correctly?
Is a sickness. It is deviant, and we do not want it.
You deserve to get clocked, bro. You deserve it.
I recorded a bunch of old headstones and the general eerie vibe of the
Bruh.
cemetery at night.
You deserve to
I
get
didn't
clocked.
see Mike and Ryan anymore, so I started to go look for them, still recording. I looked at my phone screen and froze. There was a woman, dressed in a white gown or dress, I want to say.
What?
Long, gray-looking hair.
Run! Run!
Looking down at the ground. I looked up from my phone screen to look at her in person, but she was gone.
That's
I had
it?
to back away. I looked back at my phone screen, and there she was again.
Run. Dun, like run, bro.
Only now she was looking into the camera, or rather looking at me. I looked up from the phone again and could not see her once more, so I looked back down at the screen again.
Run!
There I could see her moving closer to me.
Bro, what are you
I
doing?
started to scream for Mike and Ryan as I sprinted away
Why do
from
you
that
keep
spot.
looking and investigating?
Couldn't see their lights anywhere, and they weren't answering my screams. I had a feeling they were going to try to scare me, so I ran back for the fence of the cemetery to hop it and get out. I made it to Ryan's car and texted the two of them saying they need to get out of the cemetery now. They met me at the car minutes later. We all sat in the car, and I showed them the video I took. They had the same horrified looks on their faces I did.
Bro.
Now that I was actually watching the whole video, I could see the moment the woman slowly lifted her head from looking at the ground to looking at me.
That's crazy.
And then she starts to move towards me. We could only see her moving for like a second or two before I start screaming in the video and running away. But the way she was moving, we could see no leg movement. It almost seemed as though she were floating to me.
Wow.
I have that video saved on my old iPhone 4S, but the stupid thing won't turn on. It gets stuck at the Apple logo.
Of course it
I
does.
don't want to reset that phone until I can get that video off of it somehow. My friends firmly believe the woman in the video was a real, living person who also happened to be in the cemetery that night. me having been the one to actually find her, and only being able to see her on my phone screen.
That's crazy.
Well, let's just say I was never a believer in the paranormal until that night.
That's crazy. Crazy. This is why I keep telling y'all to not be doing this, bro. If it's like a family gathering that you're all gonna go to because of like, it's someone's birthday, whatever the case may be, I understand. Go with your family. Go with mans. Don't go by yourself. Don't go at 3 a.m. Don't go at midnight. Don't go by yourself in the dark. Where's the common sense? That first story with the man working hard, no, you should have saw the signs immediately. You should have packed up and just went back to your family talking about, oh, I'm just working too hard. Nah, bro, you saw him. You saw him. Okay, guys, so I'll catch you guys later. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Love y'all so much. Take care. Peace.
You win. Perfect.